Organic Rose Gardening, Growing Beautiful Roses Naturally from WildAboutRoses.net. More and more rose gardeners are turning to gardening their roses organically. As roses were grown successfully long before the first commercial fertilizer was invented, it does not take chemicals to produce beautiful rose blooms or healthy plants. The benefit of an organic garden is that the longevity of your rose plants is actually increased, and the danger of toxic chemicals to your family and friends is eliminated. The earth is naturally designed for optimal growth of plants and wildlife. It is only when man gets it in his head that he can do better than nature when things start getting out of balance. Plants are designed to absorb nutrients and water from the soil through their roots. Next, photosynthesis occurs in the leaves of the plants, which is a process where the sunlight and water are used to produce energy, which is then used in the growth of the plant. Soil naturally contains bacteria, fungus, nematodes, worms, plus other organisms. These organisms serve a helpful purpose for your plants. They will break down the organic matter in the soil and produce a natural fertilizer. When herbicides, pesticides, and chemical fertilizers are used, they destroy those beneficial organisms and disrupt the delicate natural balance between your roses and the soil. If helpful bacteria is not present in the soil protecting your roses, harmful organisms can move in and attack your plant. Also, when overused, roses can become dependent on chemical fertilizers. Overuse of chemicals to give your roses a temporary boost will cause them to become dependent on those artificial supplements. Organic rose gardening can be inexpensive and easy. Rather than purchasing synthetic pest control and chemical fertilizers, you will be stocking your gardening shed with natural materials. One of the easiest areas to garden organically is in amending and enriching the soil with compost and other organic material. Simply work compost into the soil of your garden or as a top dressing or mulch in an existing garden. Begin a compost pile by adding decaying plant clippings, animal waste, grass clippings, dried leaves, and even kitchen scraps like fruit peels or fish heads to a pile and allowing it to compost over time. There are also a number of ways to create a compost pile in a bin or container. However, that will require you to stir the pile occasionally in order for the compost to decay evenly. With organic rose gardening, you will be eschewing most types of pest control. However, that does not mean that you have to allow those pesky bugs to run rampant in your rose garden. Plant herbs and other plants that will naturally repel harmful pests. Also, not all bugs are harmful to your rose bushes. Ladybugs and some wasps are considered beneficial for preying on insect pests. Birds will eat grubs, and even frogs, lizards, and snakes help to prevent pest problems. If a pest infestation is overwhelming your plant, an intervention is absolutely necessary. Organic pesticides are available that are effective against pests and are not as toxic. Also, natural pesticides typically will affect one specific problem and does not do as much widespread damage that a chemical pesticide would. Every rose gardener wants the most beautiful, fragrant, and largest blooms possible. This task can be accomplished organically by putting just as much time and effort into your garden as you would put money into chemical fertilizers and toxic pesticides. To learn more about caring for roses and organic rose gardening, visit WildAboutRoses.net. Sign up for our free mini e-course on growing roses or get our comprehensive rose growing guide.